Hey, and welcome back to the third episode in this mini truck series. In today's episode, it's all about paint. We've basically taken 2 days worth of painting, several hours of footage, and condensed it down into one episode, about 12 to 15 minutes, I believe. And you will get to see some of what we did, how we do it, and what we're doing in order to complete the job. Before we get started, you can hit that like and subscribe button. That would help me out, and we will move on. Like I said before, today's episode is about paint. Now that we've learned that magnets are the way to go, it's a matter of laying out the patterns correctly and going from there. As you can see, we set up the stencil, usually taping it on first, and then we throw magnets on around it. Sometimes we throw magnets on first. It doesn't matter either way. It's really how you want to do it. Place the magnets on there how you wish. Usually holding down sections around bends is what we use it for. And we use tape to fill in spots, or hold down other spots as needed that are not necessarily in the paint zone itself. And then we tape off around it using paper or cardboard. We're basically just giving you ideas on how you can do this yourself. We've tried several different ways of doing it, and this is the best way we've come up with. Again, this episode is just basically showing you the best way we came up with doing a camouflage job. We saved so much tape this way by using magnets. We were going through a lot of tape in the beginning of the process, and when we switched to magnets, things got a lot more simple and easy, and we were using a lot less tape. But magnets severely cut the cost. Here you can see Jason is using a black stencil that has been cut out from the inside of another stencil, basically inverted stencils. They come in real handy for doing edges and other things. So for every stencil you cut, you basically get 2 stencils, and by rotating them, you get an infinite amount of stencils. Like I said before, we have 3 different styles of stencils. Basically, we created 3 sets of stencils: brown, khaki, and black. The brown have big sweeping curves, the khaki are smaller with sharper curves, and then the black have the really tight, fine curves for finishing up the paint job. But again, magnets severely offset the cost of tape. I mean, I can't tell you how much tape we would have used taping off this entire job without magnets. It would have been very costly. Magnets are definitely the way to go. As I've said many times, you'll probably hear me say it again. Another thing you'll notice in this video is that you will see us use a heat gun from time to time. We use this to speed up the process of drying the paint, to make the paint flash, so we can go ahead and pull the stencil and move on. One reason we have to do this is because we need the magnets. Although we do have a lot of magnets, the 2 of us are dividing them and using them and trying to keep moving as fast as we can. Just be careful that when you're using a heat gun, even a hairdryer, you don't want to blister the paint. If you get too close and too hot, the paint will bubble and you'll have to sand it and redo it. We did have this happen once, lesson learned, and we knew that it would happen, and it just takes a second to get it too hot and it's over with. So make sure again that you just put a light amount of heat on it, watch the paint, and you can actually see it flash, basically go from glossy to flat right in front of your eyes. But again, I can't stress enough that magnets severely offset the cost of tape. I can't tell you how many rolls of tape we would have had to have used if we taped off every one of these stencils over and over again. I think we have over 30-something stencils, and you can't use the same tape over and over. They just will not stick. So definitely invest in magnets. If you don't have any, get some. It is well worth it, not only for the camo job you're doing, but for future jobs. They work great for metal bodies. That's pretty much it. There's not much I can say about this episode. You're just seeing us do the paint job. If you do have any questions, put them in the comments below. We're more than glad to help you out. If you have anything that you need answered, or just any questions you have about why or what we're doing on something, give us a shout. We don't mind. It may take a day or two, but we'll get back to you and let you know why we did what we did, and answer any of the questions you might have about the truck as well. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. All that helps me. Thank you very much. Again, on this paint job, we did lay down the green first. If you didn't hear this in the last episode, in the original Vietnam pattern, the brown goes under the green, but we had issues when you lay the green over brown. The brown really just kind of comes through. It doesn't set well. So what we do is we lay down green on the entire vehicle, and then we do the large brown patterns, and then we switch to the khaki patterns, and then you overlay the black patterns on top. You'll also notice that when I'm painting around the tailgates on the handles, I tape a lot of the handles off because they've been painted green or some other color, and then overlay the black under, around them. That way, when you tape, undo the handles, that you have another color that's kind of there. You can do that or not. Mainly done it as it kind of accents the handle. One, makes it easier to see. Two, I like the way it looks. It looks a little cooler to me, but that's up to you if you want to do that or not. Jason has painted some vehicles before. He has a lot more experience than me, although he hasn't done anything like this. Was a little skeptical. I have little to no paint experience. I've been around body shops, more in the detailing aspects, and working with them to fix paint correction and things like that, but I have never basically been an auto body guy myself, so anybody can do this. You just gotta take time to learn how to do it and practice on something else first. Some other small things to note, we have a lot of stuff that we tape off before we started painting the main body. Obviously you want to tape off windshields and things like that. We cover the wheels and tires, as you can see, and then we painted the frame underneath the bed because this is a dump bed. We painted it solid black. The bottom of the bed's painted black, so we wanted to make sure we covered all that in plastic. That way you don't get overspray on it. That makes the job in the end look much better. We definitely want to hear your comments, but we do want you to like these videos and subscribe. It helps us out. It helps the channel build and grow in YouTube itself. But not only that, we do want you to share these videos. If you're in a group somewhere and you want to share the video, you're more than welcome to share all of them, and it would be greatly appreciated by us. And if you do share it, send us a comment to new groups that we might not know about. We like to help anybody and everybody we can, so we want this information and these videos to get out there. Thank you. As of right now, you can see that the bed is white. In an upcoming episode, we're actually going to be doing the spray-on bed liner. We use two different types, and I will tell you what two types they are and which one we like better and why. But that is why we haven't touched that or painted that green. We will actually be prepping it in a later episode. Another thing you can do to accent the vehicle, it was very easy to do the battery cover and stuff below the bed black, but we went ahead and camouflaged those two. It helps them stick out a little bit more, blends with the vehicle better. And instead of doing the whole bottom of the bed black, we did come down and bring some of the camouflage colors down into that as well. One thing that's important when doing a vehicle like this is accents. One of the small accents that we did on this vehicle was the Suzuki emblem on the front. Most people don't notice it in the video or right off, but it is actually painted in the khaki color. I think originally it was chrome, so it's one of those things that really sets the vehicle off in the end, and remember to do things like that when you're working on your key truck. We decided not to do it on this vehicle, but we did take pictures of all of the emblems around the vehicle that we did cover up or take off. One thing I like to do is go find somebody that can recreate those in camouflage colors and overlay them in spots. Usually what I do is paint out a square section and then lay it over in like a khaki black or whatever. But it definitely makes the vehicles look much better, but we decided not to do it on this one because we were trying to stay on a budget. You'll also see in this episode my wife Jamie's jumped in and she's doing a little painting herself. She wanted to try it out and see how it's done. She likes to get involved in our projects as well. And you'll also see Jason's wife pop in from time to time as well. She's not as interested in painting as we are. She just likes to chat and hang out. You will want to make sure that you let your stencils dry. If you use the same stencil repeatedly, the stencil will start to get wet, and that does not work very well when you're overlaying different colors. Sometimes it will actually cause the colors to bleed onto each other and create other problems, so make sure the stencil is dry before you start. And you definitely want to use a painter's tape. Other types of tape will actually start tearing apart the cardboard. We even used, I believe it was the basic white style of masking tape was actually tearing apart the cardboard, so we had to quickly abandon that. We just had some spare rolls laying around and decided to try to waste them, but they actually didn't work very well. The great thing about doing this kind of camo job is you can save the stencils and use them later, or if you ever have an issue where the truck gets messed up or damaged, it is very easy just to recreate a stencil of any kind and do some more overlays and fix it. Very easy to patch up, so always keep extra cans laying around so that you can do touch up if you need to. And that pretty much does it for this episode. I know there wasn't a lot going on. You're basically just watching us paint. That's why I condensed it all down into one short episode. But we do appreciate you watching. We will have the next episode out soon, so we will be moving on from paint onto other things, and you will get to see what we install and what we're going to do next. So stay tuned, and as soon as the next video comes out, if you have subscribed and clicked on the little notification bell, you will know when the next episode is ready, and you will get to see us move on from the paint onto new things.